Thank you so much, and I humbly welcome you to my channel. That's Felix. I really appreciate support for the channel. One more time, making time with me to actually watch the content I have for you at this moment. I really appreciate it. Now, as you're watching, if you have not subscribed to the channel, I humbly appeal to you kindly append your thumb on the subscribe button and then subscribe. Then also turn the notification button on for regular notifications of uploads I make onto my channel. I thank you so much. Right, so women by nature like to be loved. Women like to be given the needed attention, whatever form of attention they need from a man. They like to be given that particular attention. Women dislike, happenings or instances that will make them forcibly want to hate their male partners. So ideally, a man must show how much he loves his wife or his fiancée. Right. So this moment, I actually want to share with you 5 ways or 5 strategies by which you will be able to win the heart and love of your wife or fiancé. Right. So now I ask you, what is the kind of relationship you're having with your wife or your fiancé? Are things actually going on well, or do you regularly engage in fights or quarrels that you feel so much worried about as a male partner? Right. So the first of the 5 strategies or your strategies I want to share with you is listen to her. Listen to her. Women like to be listened to. When you are in a conversation with a woman and what she realizes or she sees you do is not looking straight into her eyes, turning your face in a different direction, she gets to have the impression that you are not listening to what she's saying. So the best way to get to listen or to get a woman to accept and understand that indeed you are listening to her is look straight into her eyes. Because women like to look into the eyes of their husbands or their male partners when they are conversing with them. And then by way of body language communication, when you are in a conversation with somebody and your eyes tend to be in a different direction, it's a clear sign of dishonesty, right? It's a clear sign that what you are saying may not be true. So ideally, the appropriate way is ensure that when you are in a conversation with your female partner, in particular your wife or your fiancé, you look straight into her eyes. That will get her to realize that indeed you are listening to her. It will make her love you more and more. That's basic. There is actually nothing so falsehood about this. It's what has actually worked, and it's working for most couples trying to have it. Now, the second strategy is be honest. Be honest about what you can do and not do. Women like to be told the truth. Women dislike deception. So when you tell your woman what the limit of your abilities is, you can actually do this to this extent. Beyond it, no, you are not capable. They will trust you more because they know that when they have a particular challenge and they come to you, that's how far you can help them out to. Tell them that's what I can actually do to help you. Don't deceive your woman or your wife. Be honest about what you can do and not do. If this cannot be done by you, my dear, this person will say, I can't do it, unfortunately. So let her be aware of your abilities and inabilities. Now, the third strategy is you fulfill your promises made to her. Women dislike disappointments. Women dislike failed promises. The moment you're unable to accomplish one particular promise without any particular explanation to the woman, you will end up losing her trust. She will begin to distrust you. She will begin not to take anything you tell her very seriously. You tell her, okay, this is what I've actually planned for you. I want to do this for you. And she'll just look you in the eyes. Well, okay, I'm here, I'm waiting for it. So that expression alone would be a clear indication of loss of trust because they know you promise, you don't accomplish it. So to win the heart and love of your fiancé or your wife, ensure that promises you made are within your capacity. If you know you can't accomplish a particular promise, don't make it. Or better still, you keep it to yourself and then do it. Don't say it to her, but do it as a surprise, for her to, not having been informed of it, experience it as what was actually unexpected. But when you tell her and she expects it and it actually gets undone, to a far extent, her trust in you will go so low. So try as much as possible as a man to fulfill promises you make to your wife or to your fiancé. The fourth strategy is be open about everything between the two of you. Don't keep secrets from your wife. Women don't like secrets. Secretive men, usually by that act, tend to hurt the feelings of your wives or your women. So if there is something you are involved in, let your wife or your fiancé be aware. Let her know about it. So that if she has any particular counsel or advice to give you, I'm sure she will be in a position to do that, give that to you at least to show her support. So don't keep secrets, because when you do that and something happens, and in the end you go wanting to seek her support, you can just imagine what likely would happen. The petty quarrel both of you will end up experiencing. So ideally, if you want your woman to trust you, you want your woman to love you, you want your woman to have her heart won by you, tell her everything and anything. But as long as you know that it is worth telling her, don't keep that as a secret from her. Tell her. Right. The last strategy is you play your role as a man. Don't try to be the woman. What is actually meant for the woman, allow her to do it. What is meant to be done by you as a man, do it to support your wife or your woman. At certain times when you feel like helping her, perhaps you want to be in the kitchen to help her maybe cook, help her with the chores, gladly do it. Don't be so much domineering as far as the kitchen is concerned. The kitchen is actually meant for your wife or your woman. So when you take that center stage, giving instructions in the kitchen, telling her what to do and what not to do, it would actually resurrect unnecessary or needed quarrels, which should not be allowed at all. So play your role as a man. When your help is needed by her and she calls you, gladly respond and help her do that. Right. So these 5 strategies are tested and tried. Very, very basic. If you want to win the heart of your wife, you want to win the heart of your woman, try these 5 strategies amongst the many others that are known. And you will attest to the fact that indeed they are very, very helpful. I thank you so much for having stayed on with me till this time, having watched the content until this time. Yes, as you watch me, if you have not subscribed, I humbly encourage you, hit the subscribe button, turn the notification button on, and let's move together as a family, touching the lives of many and inspiring them. Right, so as I always say, keep a positive attitude, remain your mind focused on what is good, and then keep going, don't look back. I wish you well.